Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this clip, I would like to improvise the overall, the explosions while taking care of the attributes of the density, velocity, and the turbulence. All right. So we further would like to, block out the explosions. So first, I would like to begin with the density. Let's say we do have the buoyancy. Let's say first we'd like to increase the density scale a little bit more. Let's say 0.75, and we will also would like to give some buoyancy. Let's say 2.5 as a default, and the dissipations to let's say 1.5 to the 2. Okay, and dissipation being the naturalistic property of the fluids that get fades or vanishes inside the fluid container. So checking these three, the density scale, buoyancy, and the dissipations, we have now set the attributes, or you can say the magnitude of these three attributes. Now we would like to come down towards the noise. That would going to add some randomizations inside the density, and that would going to add some kind of, you can say, bumpiness inside the smooth flow of the fluid. So as you know that inside the explosion it's highly aggressive as well as a turbulent, so we do need to require the attributes like the density, noise. So we don't need to give the density tension force, stuff like this. So but we highly do require the gradient force. The gradient force would like to give some external, or you could say some additional push to the fluids in terms of the increasing densities. So as far as the velocity is concerned, we also would like to increase the value of the swirl, but here we also like to animate the value, because we don't want the swirl to be quite high for the from the beginning till the end, because that's not like the case. So let's say we like to begin with the value of 6, and let's say right key and set key, and just for some few clicks let me just disable the evaluations for a moment, and let's say from 1 till 50 we would like to maintain the value to the 2.5. okay, and then set key. That's great. And we also would like to utilize the noise, because just want the randomizations inside the velocity. Well, I would like to say one thing, as far as the explosions is concerned, we would like to give a lot of randomizations. So you may say turbulence, or you can say noise inside almost all the parameters, or you could say the content details of the fluids. Okay, so the noise, let's say, like to put it to the 1, or maybe you can say 0.75 or 0.65. Now when it comes to the turbulence, I would like to set the value of, let's say, 0.35, or you can say 3.5 in the beginning. Let's say I'd like to go with the value of, yeah, 3.5 is quite good, set key. And then from 1 to frame 10, or maybe frame 6, we would like to get that thing to, let's say, 0.1. okay, and then I'd like to put a key over here. For the frequency, we'd like to go with 0.5, and again with 0.5. okay, so now at least we are done with the process of the velocity and the turbulence. And just for the sake of some, you can say, visualizations, we also can tweak the opacity curve, and I will just like to address you a little. So this would going to be the overall graph for our explosions, and you could work upon it, and that would be quite okay. We also like to use the input bias, let's say, to the 0.1. And now if I play the timeline, now you can see that yes, it's a kind of it's trying its level best to take the form of the explosion, but it's still miles to go. But no problem, we're going to fix that thing a little bit more. We do have two very important attributes like the temperature and the fuel, and that definitely going to bring a lot of change. And I can also like to use the self shadow, that would really gonna help me in getting the feel of the explosions and all. And as far as the color is also concerned, I also would like to bring it value to a little bit dark, and that's pretty much fine. Okay, so once again, if like to play, you can see that it has at least some blocking kind of stuff has started happening, but we also do have a lot of hopes from our values and settings, and we do also need to explore the attribute of the temperature as well as the fuel. So I would like to take a pause from this clip, and would like to move to the next clip where I would like to show you the attributes of the temperature.